Welcome back to copperagegold. On this episode, we're talking about PowerCon 2022, but we're talking about what I hope changes. Stay tuned. Copper Age Gold. So the first thing that I hope changes is the size. I hope PowerCon gets about 1.5 times bigger every year. Now that's not twice as big, but that's 1.5 times as big, which I believe is attainable. I think they can get a little bit bigger every year until it becomes the massive show that we all know it can be. And I think this is totally doable, and I'm in their corner. I'm hoping everything works out right, and I hope everything happens the way that I hope it does, and I'm here for PowerCon. Absolutely. The second thing that I hope changes about PowerCon is the major toy companies. I really hope that the organizers and these major toy companies can figure something out, because it's mutually beneficial. The show gets bigger, the companies get more exposure, which means more money for them. There's no way that the two sides can't figure this out and make something happen, and we all win. Because if these major toy companies are involved, everything and everybody gets what they want. The second thing that I hope that changes is adding major toy companies. Now I know and I get that maybe they can't have all of these major toy companies every year the same year. But I'm proposing maybe they get like a tiered list where you can say, okay, the top tier, Hasbro, Mattel, McFarlane. Maybe the second tier, Valaverse, Lego, Bandai, Four Horsemen, whatever. Just come up with some kind of a list where you can rotate these companies. That way it's not the same thing every year. Having all these companies is great, but maybe it's best to rotate them to have something different every year. So year to year, you have different things to look forward to, different company exclusives maybe, whatever it happens to be, I think is the best way to go. The third thing that I hope changes is more content exclusive to PowerCon. Now I'm talking about things that only happen at PowerCon. Maybe you have an entire hall set aside for people to live action role play. How cool would that be? I mean, that would be a blast. If you could run around with foam swords and try to kill people you don't even know, how fun would that be? Maybe they have some kind of a DJ set up where they're playing crazy music. Maybe they got disco lights going on at the same time. I don't know. I'm just saying, if there was a cool thing that happened only at PowerCon, I think that'd be amazing. And I think people would dig it and would maybe give people another reason to buy a ticket. Who knows? Not only that, cosplay. Loved it, thought it was cool. I think maybe they can have a certain event for cosplay, maybe workshops, maybe cosplay on a budget. Maybe you give people $100 and say, okay, you only can spend $100, create the coolest costume possible. And maybe we can have these people film it leading up to PowerCon, and then maybe at PowerCon have a panel or some kind of a show where they go, okay, here are the videos leading up to this event. Here was their budget. Here's what they did. And then show the final result. How cool would that be? I think that would be fun. Not only that, maybe have scavenger hunts at PowerCon. Maybe have a list where people need to find certain things to fill out their scavenger hunt. And maybe they need to buy these things. Maybe you need to buy an Empire Strikes Back figure from 1980. Maybe you need to buy a G.I. Joe from 1984. I don't know. How cool would that be for something like that, though? To give people another thing that they can look forward to at PowerCon and only at PowerCon. I think that would be cool. Exclusives, exclusives, exclusives. Why not? I think in the past, they've been great. But I can see bigger and better things for PowerCon in the future. How cool would it be to have McFarlane Toys show up with an exclusive for PowerCon? Or Hasbro, or Valaverse, or Four Horsemen, whatever. Exclusives, I think, are a huge selling point, and they make people lay down their money to come to the show and have a great time doing it. Number 4. Things that I hope changes about PowerCon. Add the major players in the toy game, and I don't mean the toy companies. I'm talking about Dallas Vintage Toys. I'm talking about Kokomo Toys. All of the big heavy hitters in the retail toy game, I think, should be a part of the show. It should be the biggest. It should be the best. Please give a like and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. If you enjoy our content, we're trying to do everything we can to expand our universe a little bit more. Well, that wraps us up. That's what I hope changes about PowerCon. Now, there is no venom from me in any of this. I absolutely had a blast at PowerCon. I'm already looking forward to next year, if it's in Columbus, making it a bigger appearance. Maybe going 2 days. Maybe I'll be there all 3 days. I don't know. I love PowerCon, and I hope it gets bigger, and I hope it gets better. That's all I can say. Had a great time. Thank you, PowerCon.